All right, guys, so I ran across a story that has gone viral that I find to be sad and unfortunate, but also interesting as well, right? As we live in a time where these companies have gone woke. And a part of going woke is the push for more diversity and inclusion, because the argument goes that more diversity and inclusion is going to help the bottom lines of these companies in the long term, right? That's the theory, right? But we all know what they really mean by diversity and inclusion is just a diversity of faces and not a diversity of ideas. And a lot of this stuff, in my opinion, is them hiring people that are underqualified or unqualified for the position over those who are actually qualified in order to virtue signal that, hey, we're not racist, right? We're woke, come do business with us, right? That's what I think a lot of this actually is. So this story right here involves a mortgage company CEO of Better.com firing over 900 employees via a Zoom call. And they fired these employees because they were lazy and unproductive, right? According to the CEO. And a part of the people that were fired is the diversity and inclusion hiring team. So I definitely want to talk about this because I find this stuff to be fascinating. So before we get into this, let's actually play the video of the CEO firing his employees over the Zoom call so that you guys can get more context. Take a look.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I come to you with not great news. The market has changed, as you know, and we have to move with it in order to survive so that hopefully we can continue to thrive and deliver on a mission. This isn't news that you're going to want to hear, but ultimately it was my decision, and I wanted you to hear from me. It's been a really, really challenging decision to make. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I do not want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried. This time I hope to be stronger. But we are laying off about 15% of the company for reasons. The market, efficiency, and performances, and productivity. If you're on this call, you are part of the unlucky group that is being laid off. Your employment here is terminated, effective immediately.
Are you kidding me?
What does this mean for what's next? You're going to get an email from HR, askhr@better.com, to your personal email address regarding the details of your severance and your benefits. For all U.S. employees, we're providing 4 weeks of severance, 1 month of full benefits, and 2 months of COBRA, for which we will pay the premium. So 3 months total benefits if you elect for COBRA. If you don't get a communication from askhr@better.com before the end of the day, you can email askhr@better.com. Thank you for each and every one of yours individual contributions to Better.
All right, guys. So as you can see there, that was short, sweet, to the point. I mean, he fired basically 900 people over a Zoom call, and I think it's always unfortunate when people lose their jobs. Like, I really do. So it's not really a laughing matter, and I know that a lot of people's lives basically have been upended and destroyed because of this. So with that being said, I just want to say that this video is about just the fact that they fired the diversity and inclusion team, and kind of what I think that means in regards to the whole woke movement in corporate America, whether that's diversity and inclusion training or, the anti-racist stuff. That's the point of this video, right? Obviously, it is terrible when people lose their jobs, but that's not really what this video is about. So let's read a little bit more here. More than 900 employees of mortgage company Better.com were invited to a Zoom webinar last Wednesday, where CEO Vishal Garg announced they would be fired effective immediately. All right, so let's scroll down here to get more details about this, because we've already went over some of this stuff. He also told employees that they will be receiving an email from the Human Resources Department detailing their benefits and severance. Garg then told the people on the call that market efficiency, performance, and productivity were the reasons they were being fired. Fortune reported that the days after the firing, Garg posted a series of messages seen by Fortune on an anonymous professional network in which he accused the fired employees of stealing from coworkers and customers due to their unproductivity. The outlet reported that he claimed at least some of those who were fired had only worked 2 hours a day. I mean, if you're only working 2 hours a day, right, and you're supposed to be working 8 hours a day, right, an 8-hour workday, then your job shouldn't exist, right? There's a lot of inefficiencies. And what do you think is going to happen if there's a ton of inefficiencies, right? The CEO is going to lay you off. Now, some people are speculating that this may have had something to do with like the $750-some million cash infusion that they got from investors, right? Because I think the company's going to go public. So, I mean, that could have been a part of the equation. But again, if you're looking to trim off some of that fat, yeah, you're going to go to the most unproductive people first, right? It'd be great if our government actually did this. Maybe we wouldn't be in so much debt if we could trim some of the fat, right? If the government actually operated like a business, okay? But unfortunately, that's not the case. The government is the most inefficient entity that there is, right? And we all pay for it. Now, again, he's claiming here that he's firing people for being unproductive, which is where we get to the whole diversity and inclusion thing. CNN reported that the call firing the employees was short and emotionless. This is the second time in my career I'm doing this, and I don't want to do this. The last time I did it, I cried, Garg said during the call, apparently showing no emotion. The outlet also reported that the diversity, equity, and inclusion recruiting team was among the fired employees, a rarity for companies these days who often hire more and more people to improve diversity with little to no discernible effect. Yeah, so again, this is kind of the point of the video, right? Now, this guy has indicated that I'm firing y'all because you're unproductive, okay? And basically, this guy thought that the diversity and inclusion team was so unproductive, right, that he needed to just get rid of them, right? That apparently a diversity of faces is not adding to the bottom line. Because if it was adding to the bottom line, then he would have kept them, right? He would have kept them. He fired them because they are useless. Right? That's why. Which is, again, it's a part of the argument that I've been making in regards to these companies and all this woke stuff. I'm like, there's no way that these companies are doing this because it improves the bottom line, right? They have to be doing this simply to virtue signal. Now, you can make the argument that virtue signaling improves the bottom line, and it might. But what I'm saying is that the diversity and inclusion team, in terms of hiring people themselves, the productivity from that team, it can't be that good, right? It can't have a positive return on investment. It just can't. So I wonder if these outlets are going to start to call this guy racist, right? Even though he's Indian, right? And I guarantee you, this would be a bigger story if he was white. If he was white and he fired the whole diversity and inclusion team, I guarantee you people would be saying he's so racist. But because this guy is Indian, right, it's just a sad sob story about how, you know, he fired all these people before the holidays, which again is sad. But I think that the real conversation here is these companies swear up and down that this stuff is supposed to help improve the bottom line. That's the theory. However, this guy decided to get rid of all of them. And he's citing the fact that some of these people were working only 2 hours a day. And I guarantee you, these people on the diversity and inclusion team was a part of that. Better CFO Kevin Ryan told CNN that having to conduct layoffs is gut-wrenching, especially this time of the year. Having a fortress balance sheet and reduced and focused workforce together set us up to play offense going into a radically evolving home ownership market, he added. CNN reported that Garg's leadership has been questioned before. Garg was involved in controversy before, as evidenced by email he sent to staff that was obtained by Forbes. Quote, "You too damn slow. You are a bunch of dumb dolphins, so stop it right now. You are embarrassing me," he wrote. The Daily Beast reported in August that one of Garg's most loyal lieutenants received massive perks such as millions of dollars worth of stock options that could be vested immediately, not comparable to other employees. That person was later placed on administrative leave. Forbes reported in November 2020 that ongoing lawsuits accused Garg or entities he controls of improper or even fraudulent activities at 2 prior business ventures and misappropriating tens of millions of dollars. Goldman Sachs, which invested in 3 rounds of funding for Better, accused Garg of flagrant self-dealing, but quietly dropped his legal claims in October 2020. The recent layoffs amount to 9% of Better .com's workforce. So again, what I find interesting here is the CFO's comments saying that, there's a radically evolving home ownership market, right? Which I think probably is a reference to the Fed's potentially raising interest rates, because the home ownership market has been hot, right? The housing market has been hot in general. And that may cool down here in the future if Feds raise rates. And it seems like they're going to raise rates a lot sooner than they've been telling people, right? There's some indications that they could do it as soon as next spring, which is what I've been predicting for a long time, because inflation is getting out of control, right? But the Feds are saying, no, we're going to wait until the end of 2022. And I'm like, no, you're definitely going to do it a lot earlier. But we'll see. However, again, my point with this whole story is that I'm convinced that these diversity and inclusion teams don't really help these companies, right? And that a lot of these divisions, such as HR, really are a hindrance to these companies. In my opinion, I think they cause division. Because I tell you guys, one reason why I left corporate America is because I felt like it was just too woke to a certain extent, right? In which you had these programs that basically, as a black person, made me feel like the spotlight was being put on me as some sort of victim, right? As somebody that should get, special treatment because of the color of my skin. And when you work in a workplace that is a majority white workplace and you're getting that type of spotlight, I think it definitely creates an awkward dynamic, right? In which when you get something, it's not because you earned it, it's because, you're black, right? And because you're black and the company is trying to promote diversity and inclusion, that's a part of the reason why you got a promotion, right? That's a part of the reason why you get any type of recognition instead of your merit, okay? That's one of the reasons why I'm so kind of against this stuff, because I do think that it takes away from people who actually earn stuff, right? Who have earned it based off merit. People automatically start to think, no, you're just there because of diversity and inclusion. You're a diversity and inclusion hire, right? And that, to me, in my opinion, has an effect in regards to how people interact with you. It has an effect on how people respect you, right? And again, in my opinion, I also think, again, it creates a more divisive work environment. I just do, in general, right? Like I said, I've been there, done that. So, I just found it interesting how this guy decides to lay off all these employees. And again, that's an unfortunate situation. And a part of the people that he lays off is the diversity and inclusion team, when all these woke corporations are swearing up and down they need this, right? This is going to help them improve the bottom line. When to me, they're just burning money on fire, right? And I think that this kind of confirms it. Because again, if it was so important, then why would he let these people go like that, right? And him also citing them being, unproductive and stuff like that, I think also kind of lends credence to the idea that a lot of these companies are really just woke virtue signaling when it comes to this diversity and inclusion stuff. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.